The Body isn't just one of the best Buffy episodes, but just in general, one of the best episodes in TV history. Yeah, it's like that. The way they captured the realness and suddenness of death with the writing, directing, and pure emotion is just chef's kiss, bro. Like, beautiful. Like, nobody saw this episode coming, especially not with the episode we got before this. Like, the episode before this was about a sex bot. Then she come home, we thinking things all peachy and dandy. You look in the background and you like, what? Oh no! Oh my goodness, they did that. they really did that. I find it hard to believe that anybody watched this episode and didn't at least feel some type of emotion. Like, there's no way you didn't at least have to pause the TV once. I was on like my fourth watch of the episode for this video, and I still had to pause it like 3 or 4 times. So I won't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this episode hit hard, especially if you've lost somebody in real life. So today, I want to talk about the genius of The Body. And I want to do it a little differently too. I don't think I want to do my standard 3-part format that I usually do for my videos. Today, we're just going to try something new with the format at the very least. I hope you enjoyed this video just as much as I enjoy making it. And with that being said, let's get into The Body. With the way they started this episode off, you already knew you was on to something. Something was about to go down. You look in the background and you see Joyce just laid out, eyes wide open. It's the most shocking thing I think we've ever seen on the show. Well, let me not say that. Let me not say that. But it's definitely up there. Because earlier on in this season, they introduced Joyce getting a tumor. And with that storyline, they had us thinking the worst. It was just going down constantly. But then it got fixed. They gave us light. They gave us hope. The tumor got taken out. Joyce is going out on a date. She going back to normal life. She ain't tripping like she was before. Everything is looking up. And then Buffy get home and see her laid out on the couch. This is why I talk about the genius writing of this episode. Like, when Buffy is shocked, we are shocked. We didn't expect this, just like she didn't. We are just as flabbergasted as her. And that's just part of the rawness that Buffy brings that other shows just don't really do like that. And then Buffy slowly walks up into frame with her smile dissipating. And then she says,
Mommy?
In that moment, Buffy turned into a child. She panicked. The worst came to Buffy's mind. I mean, what else is supposed to come to mind when you see a loved one like that? What are you supposed to do? She comes home and sees her mother in a very compromised state and immediately went to child mode. But it's messed up because she can't stay in that mode. She's the adult. She's the only person here. She has to do something. Now, from that moment, we cut to a Christmas flashback. And it may, at first glance, it may seem like it's just random. Like, why are we looking at this? You know what I'm saying? We just went from panic to everybody chilling, having a good time, talking about Santa Claus of all things, cutting up a pie and whatnot. What is this? I took this scene as simply just going into Buffy's mind and where her thinking things were just good a week ago. Like, things were just good. Like, we was just chilling. How could this happen like this? And that's part of the realness of this episode, because if you've ever lost someone, that is one of the first things that come to mind. It's like, I was just with you. How could this have happened? I know for me, when it comes to my brother, I cut back to just a couple of days before he passed, where he asked me to go watch his kids while he went to go take a smoke break. Or even just a couple of days before that, where I got my first piece of merch that I designed. And I went to go show it to him because, you know what I'm saying, I'm little brother. That's kind of what I do. So I understand this Christmas flashback because that's what happens. You flashback to like when you were just good a week ago. You were just good yesterday. I saw you up yesterday. What's going on now? Buffy snaps out of the flashback. She tries to wake her mom up. Nothing happens. She calls the police. She tries to do CPR. And while all of this is happening, we're getting one consistent shot throughout this house with no music. Zero. Listen, this entire scene inside the house is my favorite in the episode because they just do it so well. Like everything from front to back with the one shot of the camera. Buffy's raw emotion, panic, and like overall just discombobulated thought pattern that's going on with her. We go from seeing her being panicked to just trying to calm herself down, but not really being calm. It's like you can put on a calm voice, but your mind is still racing like a mug. So nothing that comes out your mouth makes much sense. The way she awkwardly hangs up the phone with the police and calls Giles and just says,
"She's at the house."
Nothing else. Just she's here. In this moment, I feel like she knows what the situation is, but she's, like I said, in a state of shock, in a state of disbelief, and just in her own way, in her own like scattered way, trying to keep it calm. But like I said, your face might say calm, but your mind is saying something different. And when you speak, I hear what your mind is saying. Paramedics show up, confirm she's dead, but in that moment, Buffy just daydreams about her popping back up. Can't tell you how real that is. Can't tell you how real that is. I can't tell you how real the disbelief and shock is. Like, there's no way this is happening. Like, there's no way this is real life. Not my brother. When it comes to Buffy, not my mom, not Joyce, but in the back of your mind, you know what the deal is. It's like, I know what I'm seeing, but what if? Like, I remember coming into the hospital room after them confirming that he was dead, and I was looking at his body. I was like, he still looked like he breathing. The machine is doing the zero thing and all of that, but I'm still looking at him like it still looked like he breathing. Is he not still in there? I understand it. That's all I gotta say. When Buffy walks to the back door and opens it up and just looks outside and see life still going on. Meanwhile, you cut to her face and there's nothing but distraught. From there, Giles walks in. He starts to panic about Joyce. That's when Buffy runs in and just blurts out the thing that she's been blocking in her mind for the past minute.
"We're not supposed to move the body."
Just a couple of minutes ago, when she was on the phone with a paramedic and they said the body, she immediately cuts them off and say, no, my mom. Like, she was still in that state of disbelief. Like, she's not dead. This is still my mom here. But in that moment, when she says the body, that's when it hits like she is dead. She is gone. And that moment, that entire moment, from her going outside to this, like I said, this episode is raw, man. Like, this is why I had to pause the episode a couple of times, man. Like, that is too real. That is too real. Like, I remember waking up the day after he passed and just trying to go about my day. Like, things was just normal. But in my mind, things were normal. But I remember feeling like that scene. I'm out here working out. I don't feel right. But at the same time, I look at the trees, I look at the birds. Life is just going. I'm trying to carry along, but something is off here. Then my oldest brother walks in my room, plays one of his songs where he talks about fade away. I'm okay. I'm okay. Just like Buffy broke in that moment, that's when I broke. That's when it was like, this is real. He is gone. And like I said, no music, no special little edits, just raw emotion, raw camera work. All you hear is the birds outside, like perfection, They cut to Dawn and give us a pump fake, having us think that she already knows what happened, but she's just crying about something at school. And she's just carrying along with her day. And it's looking like her day is going up because she's talking to her crush and connecting. But then when she finds out, I cannot, for the life of me, bro, I cannot watch that scene without pausing it, bro. I get choked up no matter what. When we're dealing with Buffy's emotions in the beginning, it's like, dang, this is heavy. But when we cut to little Donnie and she falls to the floor, bro, I cannot watch that scene without that feeling in my throat. That hurt. After that, we got to Buffy's friends and their reactions, and you get Willow delivering a great scene, panicking on what to wear and what's appropriate for the occasion. Once again, raw emotion, realness, and some slight bit of humor within there. But it's still, like I said, they still keep it raw. And with the way Xander deals with the situation, trying to pin her death on some demon or some otherworld entity, it's an eye-opener for not only the characters of the show, but also the audience. Because this is not the first time we're dealing with death on this show. But this is the first time that they're dealing with death. That's not anybody's fault. No creature killed Joyce. This was all natural causes. But Xander is fixated on trying to pin it on something so he could have something to point his anger at, something to want to deal physical damage to. And then we get Anya, who I know in the show, they don't mention Anya being any types of autistic in the slightest. But regardless if they meant it or not, that's the characteristics that she gives off. And with this scene, she delivers the perfect point of view from an autistic person dealing with death, not really knowing how she should react, with her not really understanding social cues, not understanding why things are the way they are. Like I said, I don't know if they meant to make Anya's 1,000-year vengeance demon thing an allegory for autism, but whether they meant it or not, they still knocked it out the park with that perspective. We arrive at the last scene at the hospital where everybody's grouped up, they're doing their hugs, things like that. And then the doctor comes in and explains exactly what happened. And with this explanation, they do something that I love. With the overdub, having the doctor say that I have to lie to you so you feel better. Ain't that the truth? They always saying, I'm sure it was painless. I'm sure it's a peaceful death. It was this, it was that. Like, it most likely wasn't. They most likely felt their way going out. But they don't want to tell you that, especially not when you're just now dealing with it. So they sugarcoat it a little bit. But in the back of your mind, which is what that overdub was, I believe, you know what it is. From there, we get Willow's girlfriend trying to comfort Buffy. I'm sorry, I'm calling her Willow's girlfriend. I don't remember her name. I know that sounds horrible because I watched this series. And I just watched that episode, but I forgot her name. I'm sorry. I forgot. But she's comforting Buffy, telling her that she went through the exact same thing and that she's there if Buffy needs her for anything. But after that scene, we get something that I'm not too fond of this episode. I feel like this is probably the episode's only flaw. Well, it's not necessarily a flaw because I understand why it's there, but let's get into it. Dawn goes into the room where Joyce is on the table, laid out, just to see the body. That's not the thing I have a problem with because that's Dawn's character. Dawn is going to be Dawn. The thing I have an issue with is the vampire popping up afterwards. Now look, like I said, I understand why the vampire is there. It's supposed to show that even through these hard, difficult times, Buffy still gets no breaks from being the Slayer. But like this episode was having such a smooth ride of that realism and that rawness. And then it's like you kind of just snap out of it for a little bit to get that, like, we need that monster of the week thing just for this last second. It may not last long, but just for this last second. Like I said, I understand why it's there, but I feel like it just probably would have been better without it. After the vampire is defeated, we get Dawn reaching over to touch her mother's body one last time. And I feel like that was overall a good way to end it, especially with Dawn, because, you know what I'm saying, Dawn has to see things for herself. She has to figure things out for herself. As I've stated plenty of times in this video, if you've dealt with death before, this episode hits you like a ton of bricks. It feels all too familiar. Like, I feel like the writers, like somebody in the writing room had just dealt with a death and they felt the need, the urge to make this episode. There was like, we have to kill her off. We have to tell this story. We got to see this through. Like, people need to understand what this feel like. And whoever that is, sorry for your loss. And dear Lord, you got a pin on you. You got a pin on you, man. But that's enough about my feelings about the episode. How did you feel about the episode? Tell me in the comments. Tell me if y'all want to see more of me just blabbing about a singular episode in a particular series. And yeah, man, Buffy got some hitters on her. Hitters. And trust to believe this is not the last time we're talking about Buffy, so stay tuned.